Okay, so I was about to go do my research, but I don't think I can really get any reading or writing done until I get this off my chest. My buddy and I went to the St. Louis Chess Club and we played for like at the bughouse casual night, and we got absolutely crushed, demolished. We might have won like one or two games, but they felt like flukes, right? I know this. I don't know. In bughouse, it feels like there's more luck in chess than in regular chess, but there is still luck, right? So before I get into it, I invite you to share any of your experiences, insights, tips that you may want to offer as far as like your bughouse experience, thinking about like how bughouse is different than chess. Any and all things would be appreciated because my buddy and I are just kind of new at this. Like we've played bughouse before, but not to like a level where people are really kind of actually competitive at it. So let's just get into it. Number one, what went wrong? No prior experience playing as a team. First and foremost, no prior experience playing as a team. We've played as opponents. We both go to the same university and play at the University Chess Club, though we have not actually played together on Buckhouse, and that was a huge thematic problem. Number two, zero understanding of like real Buckhouse principles. We know the rules of Buckhouse, and we have like some general idea of some strategies here and there, but against competitive players, like we felt like we knew nothing about anything. We kept getting into the same kind of situation, the same kind of problem over and over again. And I know, especially with Blitz, it's hard to kind of reflect and change in a quick manner. But part of that reflection process is what I'm doing right now, is kind of getting it out there and kind of processing it as I go along. Number three, poor communication. And I think a big part of this is my issue because, like, I would just say random things like, hey, I need a knight, I need a bishop, with no real context and also no appreciation for the position he was in. So I need to spend more time, like, paying attention to what his needs are to communicate my needs as well, right? Because, you know, if one of us loses, we both lose, which, yeah, duh. What went well? We definitely had fun. I'm very proud of both of us that, you know, losing so many games didn't really falter our mood. Like, of course, it stings a little bit, but we still kept it light. We still made jokes at each other's expense. We did. I'm also proud of us for doing like a little mini reflections of like what could be done differently. But again, making real adjustments that quickly was difficult, especially with a very little foundation for playing Bughouse well, right? Going into what could have been done differently. Again, if you have any thoughts, insights, experiences, please share them. But for specifically for us moving forward, we're after kind of some marginal improvements. So we're not trying to like take giant leaps here. We're probably not going to be playing Bughouse every night kind of thing. We'll probably entertain it like every couple weeks or so. So we're just going to make some marginal improvements. Number one, we both need to learn chess coordinates and to communicate them better, right? So we both can be like, hey, that square is F3 and it's important. But the way we communicate it wasn't very effective, right? Sometimes there's like if I were to look over at his board and I'd see an idea, I would be very vague about it. Like, oh, you got to watch out. There's something going on in F3, you know. But I could have gone and better articulate, like, okay, they might drop a knight on F3, attacking G8, moving to H6, and doing a sacrifice on F7, something like that. But I think I would have the idea, but I just like couldn't get it out, right? And I think the way I would be able to get it out is if I really actually practice saying it out loud. Like if I go to the chess club next week, our university chess club, and then if we're analyzing a game, I can practice saying it out loud a little bit more clearly. And honestly, I need to practice doing it more quickly because again, in Bughouse, well, I didn't say this before, but in Bughouse, we're playing Blitz, so everybody has 5 minutes on the clock that's ticking down, and every second counts. So if we're spending time trying to explain something, that's time on both of our clocks ticking down. So there's that. The other piece is knowing when to sit. We had very little idea of what that actually meant, or if that even was really an idea that came across our mind. I think we kind of discovered by just watching someone else do it. So when I say knowing when to sit, it's like even when it's your turn and your clock is ticking down, you just kind of sit on the clock instead of actually making a move, right? So that the reason for that varies from situation to situation. But to give an example, let's say that my partner let's say he was about to get mated in like two moves and it was forced, right? This would be a clear time to sit because if he makes moves, he's just going to lose and then we both lose. So he would sit on the clock and then I would continue playing, attempting to win. Now that's a very extreme example, but there's more strategic ideas such as like in the middle of a game, sitting to wait for like a more desirable piece. Like let's say he needed a knight, but if he makes a move now, his opponent's going to stop whatever that knight move could be. So he would sit on the clock. Let's say I get an opportunity to trade for knights. I give him a knight, and he can place it on an empty square while it's still empty because he had sit in and waited on it. So we didn't really have we had very little concept of that idea, but I think we could think more strategically how that could work and also communicate to each other like, oh, you should sit, or I am sitting for this reason, kind of thing. So we're just going to start with those 2 improvements, mainly with communicating better. Well, maybe it's 3 improvements. Communicating better, which also connects to better communication of chess notation and coordinates and like ideas, and kind of knowing when to sit, right? Using strategies like that, using the clock to our advantage, right? Okay, so that's it for me. Again, if you have any experiences, stories, insights about bughouse, tips that could be useful to us, or that anybody in the chess community, that'd be greatly appreciated. Yeah, until next time, I'll see you in the next one.